Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the Social.in account. I'm your host Pradeep, and on this episode of the Social Media Weekly, we're talking about ShareChat's maiden revenue, we're talking about Google making some changes to phrase match, and we're talking about Facebook and the Australia news issue. Let's get started. So the first story we have for today is about Google making some changes to phrase match. So in a couple of weeks, broad match will no longer work. In your Google ads, you can only use phrase match or exact match. Here's our guide. If the language of your target user is sophisticated, use exact match, else use phrase match. Anyway, currently with the new changes, once you have a broad match modifier on a keyword, for example, resume writing service, then it will no longer appear for the search phrase customer service skills in a resume. Secondly, if you have a keyword and it's phrase matched, for example, holidays in Zambia, then it will appear for a search phrase such as holiday spots in Zambia. If you haven't made changes to your Google AdWords in terms of phrase and exact match, we recommend you do so right away. The next story has to do with Google transitioning to parallel tracking. So parallel tracking is a feature that Google added into Google AdWords in search a couple of years back, in 2018 actually. In parallel tracking, once you click on a particular ad, then instead of redirecting you to a couple of pages and making you stop by Larry Page's house, it will take you directly to the target landing page and do the click measurement in parallel. Now Google is going to be forcing ad providers to move their video ad campaigns also to parallel tracking so that when users click on a video ad, they are taken directly to the landing page, resulting in a better user experience. Our third story of the day has to do with Android 12 developer preview, which has just been made available to Pixel 3 and newer. So here are some interesting features for an app developer or a marketer. There is going to be enhanced video and audio functionality, including HEVC support, finally, including AVIF, AV image format support, and 24 channels of audio and better haptics. There will also be better privacy in terms of the phone letting you know if an app is using your camera or microphone, similar to iOS. And apparently Google is going to throw up a prompt which will ask you if an app can track you on other apps and websites, similar to iOS. There is a link in the description right next to that like button. Our next story has to do with ShareChat and their maiden revenue for the first time in 2020. Apparently, they have posted a maiden operating revenue of 9.3 crores Indian rupees. The bulk of that comes from advertising. ShareChat is backed by Twitter in India, and they have also recently partnered with Snapchat on their short video platform called Moj. What's interesting here is that ShareChat is attracting a lot of investment from US tech companies, including potentially a $300 million round from Google. Our final story of the day has to do with Facebook, Google, and the Australia news issue. So the Australian government is considering a bill wherein these tech platforms have to pay news publishers in Australia for linking to their content. Now Google has done the correct thing and has partnered with News Corp 7 and 9, these are media companies in Australia, and has agreed to pay them. Facebook, on the other hand, has gone the complete opposite route and has banned all news content on news publishers on its platform in Australia, including inadvertently banning some government content. Now, Facebook has done this because apparently they feel the law is unfair. Another effect of this change from Facebook is the fact that ABC News has shot to the top of the App Store rankings in Australia. That's about it for this week's episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. As always, please go over to YouTube, subscribe to the Social.in account, ring that notification bell so that you never miss a video, and we will see you guys in the next episode.